the August 4th, 2014 news banner. The headline is the local ISTEP test. In that, it states that the Bluffton Middle School dropped from 80.7% to 68.8%. I stayed after that meeting to inquire about that. I remember telling you I had parents driving in my driveway that day with this paper, the Journal-Gazette, the results. What do I tell them? What do I tell them about their students and what's going on at the school? So I stayed after. You assured me that all was well. At that after-meeting meeting, we talked. I don't agree. I don't agree that all is well there. My solution is other schools implement a evaluation process where staff can evaluate up to the building administrator. There's a technology thing called SurveyMonkey. I've spoke with other schools that use it. It's anonymous. They can help grade their administrator to improve also, which is what we want. We want great schools. That's why we're here. We went from an 80% school, 80.7 to 68.8. That alone, I'm not going to judge the others for scoring. I'll let them judge me, obviously from the last meeting. That's fine. But that alone, to score you a 4.0 is unacceptable. Somebody's not doing their work.
It's difficult for me to look at this process that's played out and look at it that it's not personal, even from your comments tonight. I look at it and I see that a year ago the numbers were very consistent. I see even that you seconded the motion to approve my contract a year ago, and then we started a building project discussion that we've taken as much input as we can from everyone. It seems that we've had about 4 project hearings on it. We had one here, and we've had them repeatedly at different board meetings where people have been able to have a say, but you've disagreed with the outcome of that, but I would hope you could not disagree with the fact that we did go through the process, and we did our best to do that process so that people had input. And everyone's been able to say on that. I just don't want that to be an impact on other things that even in this rubric can't be tied to it, because it does then seem then personal, but maybe it's not. Maybe
I never mentioned the building project. That did not influence me. I never made mention of the building project, Mr. Parker.
Right.
That was your words, not
Right.
mine. I never mentioned it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that I know has happened that you and I disagree with this entire school year. You and I have talked about, you've asked me about grades at the middle school, you've asked me about those letters, but we have not talked about many of the things that you brought up tonight in regards to that, and I still will work to try to get some of these things answered for you. That's my responsibility, and I will do it. I just would like for us to have an open communication where if something isn't happening the way that you want it to, then you can come to me and say, I need this. I've met with every board member up here privately for different things that they've had questions about. Some even in regards to my evaluation that had questions and came in and asked me those questions.
So why didn't you ask me to meet you privately over mine? Why did you want a public meeting? Why didn't you just said you asked these board members privately, you've talked to them privately, why didn't you ask me privately that we could have met? I mean, just you and I in a room, and we can, I respect you, and I respect your job, I respect what you do and how you do it, but we could have met in a room privately and discussed this. You chose to bring this out in a public meeting that you knew I wasn't going to be at. That's not professional at all. And I don't know what the accomplishment or what you're trying to get here. But as far as going through all this, we can sit down, we can do that. That's great. I'm not wasting people's time tonight over that. I'm just not going to do it.
No one has to stay. And certainly, it was my choice to make this public, but as I said, these other situations happened prior to them coming out. You made this evaluation final when you submitted it. So the number 2.01 that represents you, you did. I didn't have a chance to have feedback to it. It became final when you submitted it. Other board members who had questions about that, I met with prior who said, talk to me about this indicator, talk to me about this category. You didn't need my input for that. And now it's left me, certainly the evaluation and certainly your comments tonight have left me with the question of you don't support me. I think you clearly stated that tonight. So I need to make decisions that are best for me and my family and my future interest, because things could change for me quickly. And I want to see that change in a positive way. And the best way for me to get that is for you to know what those indicators are for me, so that I can have some strategies to improve. And the best way for me to do that is there are also people here that can help me do that. So although if you had questions prior to, just as all these other things that we talked about prior to, we could have done that. Tonight I would like to see this go through each of these indicators so that you could talk to me about what I can do to move to the left to be considered effective or even highly effective. It's hard for me because when I go through your evaluation, it just seems inconsistent on certain things. And I think that can help me to understand better how I can achieve what it is you would have for me to achieve as a school board member.